Yeah, you know what time it is. It's a Milkman. Right now, I'm here at York University, specifically Schulich School of Business. Let's find out what students wish they knew before coming to Schulich. Why? Because it's been rated one of the best business schools in North America. So let's go. All right, cool. So I'm here with
Hans,
Lindsay,
Johan,
Julia,
Dennis, Regis,
Janini,
Glenn,
Nicolina.
Aditya.
All right, so Aditya, I'm hearing that you're from Brampton.
That's actually a lie. I live on the border, so I consider myself to be a Saga youth.
He lives in the heart of Brampton. All right, so we're here at Schulich. What's one thing you wish you knew before coming to Schulich?
So if you walk into Schulich wearing your professional clothing, no one will look at you twice.
When I came here, I realized that York people really hate us.
But if you walk into York wearing the same thing, they're really going to be looking at you sideways.
I mean, there was one time we were just living on res, and I went into the room, and all the mans just walked out. So it was just really funny.
So all the mans walked out as soon as you stepped in, and you're assuming it's because you're a Schulich student?
100%. I was wearing the jacket, and I just figured it out. It just happened.
I was wearing it too. I was wearing the jacket. We walked in and they just all walked out.
So one thing I wish I knew before Schulich was coming in, I thought it was going to be a very competitive environment and nobody would want to help anybody. But it's actually the complete opposite, where everyone just wants each other to be successful. So it's a very helpful environment.
People don't think I can ball. I was at Tate and I was just playing ball, and they're surprised that I went to Schulich.
Small body. So what was it about your game that threw them off?
I'm basically Carmelo and Kobe.
First thing I wish I knew was just the workload. The difference between high school and university is very different. It's adjusting is for sure weird. Still getting used to it, but yeah.
My jumper's wet, right? So they didn't expect it coming from Schulich, man.
One thing I wish I knew was to prep before every lecture so I knew what the profs were talking about, because sometimes I do get a little lost. But yeah.
And how does one prep per se?
Just read the chapter in advance and make a list of questions, something like that.
Yeah, just essentially that. You gotta it's a brand new system, so just get caught up. Try to learn the system as fast as you can so you don't get caught behind.
If I had to nail it down to one thing, it would probably be to focus on extracurriculars. Guys, your network is your net worth. I can't stress it enough. Find something you're passionate in, join all the clubs you can, and just get onto it right away. I wish I started earlier, and it's definitely been the number one advantage for all the students and all the friends I know.
a positive thing I wish I knew is just the great job opportunities that they have here. So I wasn't aware of all the networking events.
It's about the friend groups, about meeting people in your industry as early as possible, showing the enthusiasm, the passion, and it'll just carry forward in dividends.
One negative thing is just the transportation. I live Midtown Toronto, so it's very complicated to get here. But other than that, I'm really enjoying my time here.
I heard that you got to maintain a certain was it a GPA that we were talking about earlier? So what happens if you don't maintain it for that year?
If you don't maintain it for that year, it's you're out. You're out.
Let me ask you about the tuition. You find the tuition fees are too high, low, or are they just right?
Comparing our tuition fees to other professional business schools like Queen's or Western,
especially their Ivy program, it's quite a bit more expensive than Schulich. So technically Schulich is kind of better than other school when it comes to tuition, but yeah, for Toronto schools it's a pretty fair price overall.
And what about book fees? Do you find that they're gouging you for books?
I would say so. Books are very expensive, and if you don't have a part-time job, it's really hard to afford them on your own.
Actually, I'm really lucky. A lot of my readings have been posted on Canvas, our student site, so I haven't had to buy a lot of textbooks.
A lot of the textbooks are online that you can just ask from second or fourth year students, so you can just ask from them.
As a first year student, you also get a York U card with $500 on it, and you can literally spend that how much on whatever you want. What's good? You can spend it on books, or you can spend it on AirPods, because there's a tech store and you can buy AirPods with your $500 fee.
So you already buy your AirPods?
You already know.
All right, so there you have it. It's the Milkman. This is what students wish they knew before coming to Schulich. So before you spend your money, you'll know what you're in for. Anyways, it's the Milkman. You know what time it is. Leave your comments in the comment box. Like, subscribe. I'm off this. Easy, fam.